Good evening, and welcome to night 9 of our 31 Tales for Halloween series. This is another original written by me that asks the question, was it real or was it just a dream? It's funny. I thought that I would feel a sense of shame about what we had done that night. But the more that time passes between now and then, the less remorse I feel. I feel so separated from the events that it almost feels as if my actions were merely part of a dream, a misadventure brought to life through an active, shared tale and through the power of collective imagination. It might be incredibly arrogant of me to state this, but as terrible as the event was for all of us and for my part in it, I found it to be almost inconsequential to my day to day life. Back when this all happened, my friends and I were all bored, overly self important teenagers who thought ourselves to be better than most people, and that those in our immediate surroundings were scummy, boring, unintelligent underlings for us to screw with however we pleased. Tormenting those that were not a part of our group was our main source of entertainment, as we found all other tasks to be tedious. We didn't like to go to the bowling alley. We found movies to be boring, and video games were only entertaining for us for so long before we felt as if we needed to do something more intellectually stimulating. To entertain ourselves, we kept a collection of tertiary friends who we would invite over on occasion. We would act as if we liked them. We would listen to them talk and laugh at their jokes, all while secretly making fun of them in our own hidden language. We would laugh about them as soon as they were gone, and we would marvel at our ability to make these people that we found to be lesser than us think that they were actually our friends. When we got bored of retelling the tales from the last occurrence, we would invite them over and repeat the process. Savannah was one of these friends, and although we treated her the same as the others, we found her in particular to be delightfully strange. Savannah was convinced that there were guiding spirits in the world, and she dabbled in witchcraft with the curiosity of an innocent child. What others would find as grotesque and disturbing, such as wearing a vial of blood around her neck, she found it to be charming. I would go over to her house on occasion, and she would provide me with cherry spritzes as a thankful gesture towards me for coming over. One day, when I was over, I had had one too many, and while washing my hands, I accidentally cut myself on one of her loose razor blades that she had left out on the bathroom counter. Ouch! I yelled as I ran to her, asking for a band-aid. Why do you have razor blades on the counter? I'm sorry. I forgot it was there. I think that they're fascinating, and I use them for thinning my hair. I can kiss it to make it better, she offered. No thanks, I said with a disgusted face. I'd rather just have a band-aid. Suit yourself, she said as she skipped into the bathroom and fumbled through the counters for a bandage. She grabbed my hand, and I felt weirdly immobile as I let her pinch my finger. I watched the blood ooze out as she collected it in the vial that she wore around her neck. She cut her own finger and did the same with her own blood and smiled as she put the cap back on. There, we're blood sisters now, and now no matter what happens, neither of us will ever forget the other. I passed out soon after. I could scarcely remember the events from the day. While I slept, I had the strangest dream. I dreamt that I woke, unsure of my surroundings, to the sound of an owl hooting. I could see a small amount of light from the hall peeking out from under the door frame. I got up to turn off the light and saw a figure in a cloak walking down the stairs at the end of the hall. Young and naive as I was, I thought that I was invincible, so I let my curiosity guide me as I slowly snuck behind the figure and followed it down the stairs. Down in the living room, the cloaked figure joined a gathering of others dressed in the same robes, closing the circle that they had formed. I knew that I was asleep then because none of the hooded figures paid me any mind as I shifted around them, trying to peer in. In the circle, I could see a body lying still. Help us kill him, they all chanted as they opened the circle for me to enter. Cautiously, I walked through the path. I looked at the faces of those adorned in robes and saw the faces of Savannah and my other friends, each wearing a hooded robe. Kill him, they chanted in unison. Stab him with us. I looked down and recognized the body as another one of our friends. I was stunned by what I was seeing, but I thought, what the hell? It's only a dream. So I stabbed him in the chest. The next day, Savannah woke me up, and she looked worried sick. I asked her of her grievance, and she told me about the guilt that she felt over what we had done. She had collected blood from each of our friends, and mine had been the last. Our blood combined had created a reality where, when we had all been sleeping, what we were doing may have really all been happening. Michael had been found dead with several stab wounds, but there was no evidence that anyone else had been inside of his house.